Time to do some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah. Hope I get away with it. Oh, da doo-dah day.
Sometimes I'll just stir shit up for no reason.
And here we go.
Oh, I'm fine.
Hello, everybody.
I was wondering when the show was going to actually start.
I figured it was just going to roll through. I figured it was going to roll through all those things, and we could just, go to bed, eat ice cream.
Yeah, really, the show'd be over about halfway through the rim shots.
Skunks in the chat says got hit. Work truck got hit. Hit and run.
Oh no, Skunk, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I hate that.
Hey Josh, hey Emily.
And hey, Josh. But wait a minute. Military base? Has Skunk moved away?
No, there's several military facilities here in town. Catoosa, the firing range just south of us, they order pizza all the darn time.
Oh, okay.
And then, of course, you got the National Guard Armory in Chattanooga. You got the Marine Reserve Center up there on Amicola, and I think there's an Air National Guard facility out at the airport. I don't know how many people they got there, but
Oh,
of course you got the Coast Guard. Technically, they count as military.
yeah, Coast Guard reminds me of a story that I just heard.
Well, I mean, the Coast Guard on the Tennessee River. I mean, that's
No, there's these two rednecks out fishing in a boat, and this like lamp comes floating up with a cork in it. One of them picks it up, pulls it out, pulls the cork out, and this big genie appears. He goes, "Oh, thank you so much for releasing me, but I've not really been in here that long. I can only grant you one wish." One of the drunk redneck goes, "Hey, I wish this whole lake was nothing but beer." Other one reached over, smacked him in the back of the head, and says, "Dummy, now we got to piss in the boat."
Jesus.
That is actually one of the better jokes you've told, Joe.
Hey, Adsy, how you doing?
Hey, Etsy.
Yeah, Skunk. I hope your company sues the crap out of Walmart too.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that the lawyers don't get paid until they win.
Those are the best kind.
Yeah, when I had that wreck going down to Fritz's house, totaled out my little silver HHR. The lawyer asked, he goes, "Well, how much money do you want?" I said, "I want to get enough that you don't have to run another case." And he's like, "Huh? Oh,
okay. That explains it. I was wondering about deliveries there, Skunk. Got a new job. Drive
Good
for
to
a
hear.
shuttle company now and pick up people to go to
Oh.
and from the airport.
I know exactly who you work for, Skunk, and I hear that's a good company to work. Or a decent company to work with."
And we have used that company to go from Athens to Atlanta a couple of times too.
I wonder if you could use that company, go from Athens to Atlanta and from Atlanta to Chattanooga. Skunk can answer that, because I know they have service from Chattanooga that goes to Nashville. I think they do Knoxville. Pretty sure they do Knoxville.
And they go to Atlanta. And they do go to Atlanta. I know some people that for a while were using that company to go to Dragon Con. They would, load up, get dropped off at the airport in Atlanta. They call the hotel.
Oh, really?
Hotel sends the shuttle van out to pick them up from the airport.
That'd save you a lot of money on expensive convention parking.
Yeah.
Boy, do it. Because for what you pay to park at Dragon Con now, I think that's what I spent to go to Dragon Con 1. To rent the car, drive 5 hours to get there, and the hotel room.
Yeah.
You could just about, for what you would have to pay, from what I understand, for parking for Dragon Con for 4 or 5 days, you could go to HallowCon easily.
Just for what it costs you to park your car in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Might be there.
I've already got the answer for this, Dan. You got enough to pay for your badges at the door, your room for the weekend, and money to spend in the vendor's room for what it costs the 4 days at Dragon Con. And you don't have to buy food. You start adding those little expenses up, it gets expensive quick.
Oh, I know.
Oh, is it my turn to talk? Okay.
Yep.
Hey, sorry, I'm distracted. I'm thinking about computer graphics.
So am I. I'm trying to do a new logo for Indie CD.
I was
Oh, that
working on something similar for Apelian.
Well, Ted broke my keyboard today. He broke one of the little flippers off the back of it. So I'm shopping.
There you go, John.
Cool. See, that would actually be kind of awesome. Oh, another question I had about the groom thing. Do they do bathroom stops along the route? Or how do they, I mean, what, just what? Everybody gets a piss bottle? I mean, how do they handle that?
They drive fast enough so you get there before you need to go the next time.
Well, I think their main stops are like 2 hours. So if you can't hold it 2 hours, of course they tell you to go before you take off.
True, but here's the thing. Joe,
Yeah.
you've driven through Atlanta traffic before, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. A 2 hour, it's like that song from Gilligan's Island,
A 3 hour
tour. Yeah.
Took them 17 years to get off that damn island. Only to get shipwrecked again on the same island.
Mm.
With everything that's going on in the world right now, getting shipwrecked on a tropical island full of coconuts actually sounds pretty damn good.
I think we lost John.
No.
You got shipwrecked. You got shipwrecked on a tropical island.
What?
Huh?
That's
what
on
I
your
got.
end. We heard
That's
the
on your
entire
end.
thing.
Everybody else heard me.
Yeah.
We heard you. Or should we just mess with John and be like, no, we didn't hear it?
Oh, Joe Dog forgot to turn the crank handle on his computer again.
Yeah, I guess.
That's what you get for buying them Victrola computers.
So anyway, we were making Gilligan's Island's jokes, and sorry.
I guess I'm gonna have to upgrade to the 2.5 gig. Damn. It's only $10 more a month. Joe's sitting there. Just shut the fuck up.
I'm on 2.5 gig right now. Well, 2.38.
Okay.
But is it symmetrical?
Yes. Up and down.
Okay, so you got fiber.
Yep.
Have you
Good.
heard? Of course, the Ukrainians were using Starlink for a lot of their communication stuff there during the early part of the Ukraine war. Apparently, it was so effective that the Russians have been doing a black market runaround and have bought thousands of Starlink systems and are now using Starlink internet services for their troops as well.
And they're also SpaceX is watching and shutting units off as quick as they can get a hold of them.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Michaela.
Russia got 1,000 of those. Russia got 1,000 of those things. We only want one, don't we, Joe?
Yeah. Well, I'd like to have about 2 or 3. That way we can.
Now, I've heard they got a specialty antenna for RVs, but they charge you a ridiculous amount of money for the subscription fee for it.
Yeah.
They got some sort of mobile antenna goes on top of an RV. So
It's the same.
or a yacht.
It's now the same antenna for everybody.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, here's what.
Yeah,
Very well said, Skunk.
I've always wondered about that with Groom. I've never actually, used their service. My mom has, and I've had to take her there and pick her up from time to time.
Now the question is, we fall into open container laws, but can the people in the back be drinking as he's driving?
No, open container. Even though it's a chauffeured vehicle.
Well, I don't know about your guys' laws out there, but it might depend on what he actually falls under for a classification.
I'm not sure.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Because party bus, like you can't have open containers in Indiana, but if you have a party bus,
Yeah, Nashville has the party buses, so that's what I was wondering. I think you might be able to get away with it in Tennessee, but I don't think you can get away with it in Georgia.
There ain't much you can get away with in Georgia.
Well, Chattanooga's got the coolest party bus in the world. You got one guy that's at the front steering, and everybody else in the back is drinking and pedaling.
They have those in the Heights. They have one of those not far
That's too
from
much
here.
like work.
Drunk on a bicycle.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah.
Wow, Grant is less than $400 from him.
Pedaling a bicycle.
All right, that's good.
Yes, he is at. Oh, shoot, I clicked the wrong thing.
Oh shit!
He is at.
Damn! What? You got to
Hi,
quit
Donna.
doing.
Hi, Donna. He's at 1605.
Shit. Says she just barely hit me.
I tried to warn you about that frying pan. It's still coming. Like the sword of Damocles over your head.
Well, thank you, Carl.
And here's what Joe Dog's seeing right now.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, no, it's more this.
Yeah.
I see colors.
But I'm a good wife. I love him, and I don't hit him that hard. He makes a big deal out of it.
I thought you just came in to hit him on the other side of the head so it balances out the bruises.
Also,
Just for Michaela's comment.
I'm almost afraid to ask this, but are we speaking from experience, Michaela?
Hey, Carl.
Hello.
Hey, Carl.
Carl's in.
I have a guest tonight.
I gotta talk. Oh,
Aw.
kitty cat. Okay.
Harmony.
I gotta talk about this just because it's one of
Hey,
those
Moni.
things that's all over the news right now. Here in Tennessee, up over in Meigs County, okay, they got this new deputy. He's only been working with them for a while. Last night,
Michaela.
Last night he went and made his first arrest. About 9:30 last night, arrested this woman, and he's driving back to the police precinct. And he doesn't know the area very well. And apparently, he was driving up this road that went to an old ferry crossing, and they use it as a boat ramp. And apparently, didn't realize that it was a boat ramp, and was driving her back to the station. Apparently, drove right down the boat ramp into the Tennessee River.
Oh.
Okay.
We have a guest, apparently.
Oh.
So are they still alive? Or?
No, they can't find his body. They don't know what happened to him. They can't find his body, and they've recovered the car, and she had drowned in the back of the police car.
Oh no.
Yeah, so that's kind
Wow.
of tragic. You know, it's just one of those unfortunate things that happens. But it, other than the fact that he just took the wrong, or didn't know where he was going. I mean, that's.
Well, there's your answer right there, John. They are not a party bus.
Oh no!
Can't even get on if they're lit.
Well, that's now that I think about it, that's kind of like a standard taxi thing. Actually, is you're not supposed to take intoxicated people, but they do.
What do they do on New Year's Eve?
Take intoxicated people.
I was gonna say.
All right, I'll be back in a minute.
But they charge them double.
I got to go get the bleeding stopped. I'll be back.
No, actually, I think there's a grant that a lot of the taxi services around here do it for free.
Yeah.
They want you to call and get a ride home.
Yeah, exactly.
But I know on regular day, if it's not like New Year's Eve or exceptional, if it's not exceptional, it's still public drunk. Just because you're in a taxi doesn't mean it's not like being in your own car, at which point you can get a DUI. But if you're in a taxi, which is considered to be a public service vehicle, I guess, for lack of better term,
Oh, okay.
they still consider it to be public drunkenness. So
That's why you should keep your drunkenness private, people.
privates are supposed to be drunk. That's what the Army is all about. Yeah.
You'd have a hard time.
Yeah. What's Don drinking?
What's it look like?
Well, the label looks like Drambuie, but the bottle doesn't.
I have not tried it yet. Ted found this.
Oh,
Ooh.
Root beer.
that's one of the best ones I've heard. Okay.
So I haven't tried it yet.
I want to tell you a sad.
Wait. Let's do this real quick. Okay. Go ahead and try it.
Yeah, in case it goes down the front.
Yeah, we want to see the face. Actually, hey, Carl, you ready?
Pretty good.
Okay. All right, just checking. I was expecting a photo up, Carl. I really was.
You found the burst setting, huh?
Actually, I was hoping for a spit take.
Then she'd really be shopping for a keyboard.
Among other things.
Can you put that on next day delivery, please?
Oh, I already sent one to Joey and said, how's this one looking? He said, it looks okay. So now I got to forward that link to Ted to be like, this is what you got to order me.
We had a friend who her computer was broken, and I found a used Chromebook for $50. And I said, it's yours, babe. So we sent it to her so that she will be able to get back online, because we don't want people to be falling off these shows, you know?
Do we know this person?
You might, yeah.
If it is who I think it is, that's awesome.
Well, share it around, whatever.
Well, even not having the slightest clue who it might be, it's still awesome.
Mhm.
Donna thought so too. So that's always good. When your wife agrees with your being nice to somebody, that's always a good thing. That doesn't always happen. I helped a friend make their car payment the other day, and she's like, "Doesn't she have a job yet?" I'm like, okay, we won't be talking about that for a while.
Carl, there is such a thing as the Secret Santa. It may be time to divide up your charity work into the two categories.
Yeah.
But look at what you guys did for me. Camera and microphone.
Gotta help your friends.
I have not had since then.
Well, yeah, exactly. We want to keep you online here,
Except for now you get stupid screenshots of me.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Well,
there's method to my madness. I'm not just crazy. I'm crazy for a reason.
That's because you were. Hi, Nick. You
hello,
were
Nick.
for a while.
Hey, Nick.
Nick. Yeah. Gotta help people out. I helped the government out today.
I'm sure you did.
Pay the taxes?
Doing my taxes, yeah. I ran into a problem with TurboTax because I had last year I had not enough withheld, and so I had to make 4 payments to the IRS throughout the year for estimated taxes for this year. So I paid all my 2023 taxes, and for some reason TurboTax had a problem with that, so I had to get the online chat girl up there. She couldn't tell me how to do it either. Or she told me the wrong thing. And so it kept coming up wrong. So I pulled the chat up again, got a different lady. She says, "Oh, yeah, okay, I can help you." 20 minutes later, we finally got it entered that, yes, I made those 4 payments and I only owed a small amount. I was like, whew. And she's like, "Oh, I think I can help you some more." I said, "No, that's fine. You did great, lady." I expected to pay taxes. I didn't expect a refund. I expected to pay, but
Did you see what Nick said too, by the way?
I didn't want to pay twice.
Nick said that Carl and Donna are the reason I have a box to work with on Xander.
Hey, if we have extra stuff and somebody else needs it, we send it along. We don't just throw stuff away. It's wasteful. You got to help other people out.
Yeah, my problem is I usually help other people out after I've been drinking for a little bit.
Yeah, I do that too.
And the problem is, give you an example. I can't find my tent in my sleeping bag.
Uh-oh.
It's not where I left it, but I distinctly remember loaning it to someone to go camping with, and it never came back.
You remember who?
But I can't remember who I loaned it to.
Oh, that's the problem. That's the problem with the drinking. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Well, I told you about, I had bottles of liquor in the house, and my brother came back from the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
All my bottles of liquor disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
No one seems to know where they went.
Yeah.
And I didn't back then. I don't drink that much liquor. And so, when my liquor disappears, I notice.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to thinking about it one day. The box it was in disappeared.
Wow.
So I'm like, so somebody came in here, grabbed this entire case of various liquors, and took the whole box. And then I got thinking about it. Did I donate that box to a party? And I hope so, because apparently it was a really good party, because I don't remember donating alcohol to it. So,
yeah, that was a good party.
Will
get to HallowCon?
We would have remembered that.
Does Jay run the bar at HallowCon, or do you? I mean, I'm so used to going to a convention and seeing Jay there, and he's got the entire bar set up.
This one had nothing to do with HallowCon. I'm quite certain it was something else. In a New Year's Eve party.
Ted and I have a bunch of hard alcohol. I can't drink. He's been sober. It'll be 5 years next month, and we still have a ton of alcohol in the house. I'd love to bring it down to HallowCon, but a lot of it's open.
Yeah. I have a sad story to tell. I think the only alcohol I have that I really would drink is a Bacardi pineapple flavored rum, and it's ages old. And I just opened it and tasted it. I'm like, ugh. So I got to buy liquor before the
Tomorrow night.
That's the only night I really drink.
John, did you try your paint thinner?
I have not yet. Lacquer thinner, to be precise.
Oh, lacquer thinner. My apologies.
Paint thinner would have looked obvious. Lacquer thinner looks like, it's not something you hear about very often.
Yeah.
John, I got some bad news.
Uh-oh.
This is breaking Chattanooga news.
Uh-oh.
Yep. I saw that this morning.
Whoops.
Longhorn is like a mom and pop Waffle House. But they don't open till 5:30 in the morning and close about 6.
Yeah, they don't stay open all day.
That's not part of like a chain.
No.
We used to have Longhorn Steakhouse up here.
Yeah. Well,
they
it used to
predate
be
Longhorn Steakhouse.
Yeah, it used to be a franchise.
Oh, okay. And I don't know, the whole thing closed or what? You don't see Longhorn Steakhouse anymore up here.
There's one here.
Is there one over your way? Okay.
Well,
We were just there, a couple months ago. We were walking through the parking lot right across from it.
Oh, we were munzing. We weren't looking at
We don't
that.
pay attention.
Is it Longhorn or Logan's that has the peanuts that you throw the shells on the floor?
Logan's.
Logan's, yeah.
Logan's.
And there's
Michaela and I went to Logan's once. Remember
And
that,
then there's-
Michaela? That was fun.
There's that one up in Murfreesboro, I think it is. That it's a Davy Crockett's.
Oh,
That it's sort of like the original
Longhorns.
Logan's Roadhouse.
Oh.
It's they cook the steaks in front of you, peanuts on the floor, whole night.
Oh, Texas Roadhouse. Thank you, Michaela. That's right. Yeah. We went to a Texas Roadhouse recently, and it was just so dang loud. I could not stand to be there.
Yes. We have one in Athens. My sister just absolutely delights in taking Mom there for a holiday or birthday, and Mom hates it. There's always like a 2.5 hour wait, no matter when you get there.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forget our first time I thought it was Logan's that had the peanuts. We were eating the peanuts and leaving the shells on the table.
Logan's Roadhouse. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we walked up and the waitress goes, "Oh, you don't know?" I said, "No, what?" She goes, "Here." Rakes the peanuts into the floor and kicks them under the table. It was like, huh?
What? That's weird. The peanuts that you hadn't eaten, or the peanuts that you had eaten?
The shells.
Oh, the shells.
Yeah.
Okay, the shells. Yeah.
And the reason is they have hardwood floors, and it's supposed to help polish the floor.
Okay.
Plus, it soaks up any drinks that have been spilled.
Yeah.
To a certain
Yeah. Yeah, that's for
To a
sure.
certain extent. You got to eat a lot of peanuts if you tip over an entire beer, but
Yeah.
We used to have some really good restaurants in Chattanooga that disappeared. I miss Shakey's Pizza.
Oh, yes.
Shakey's, yeah.
Let's see.
Godfathers.
Godfathers was a good one. Sailmaker. Do you remember the Sailmaker restaurant?
I remember the Sailmaker. I never went there.
Oh,
it closed just right before I started getting out. And
they all of the waiters and waitresses would dress as famous Hollywood characters. So you'd have like Groucho Marx serving your meal, or my favorite one was the girl who was dressed like Mae West.
Oh yeah,
because she fit the role. Then see, what was another good one? Hungry Fisherman.
Yeah, I miss the Hungry Fisherman.
They had a river boat. You could. It was this huge building. It looked like it was a multi-story. Had a balcony around the outside of it. You could actually go fishing in their pond. And they had a little miniature river boat ride. You could go and they'd sell you around the creek.
Cool.
It was.
Sounds delightful.
We used to love Shakey's when we had one here in Danville, and somebody started a rumor that they were using Alpo on the pizzas. And I'm like, well, if they do, I need to start buying Alpo because that was the best pizza we had in town.
Well, that's like the Wendy's worms.
Yeah. Yeah.
And do you know?
You got to wonder if that one wasn't a competitor.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That started.
But I just have a golden idea of who it could possibly be. There is an arch in that between those two.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
That it came out that it was part of Ray Kroc that started that shit.
Yeah. What do you expect from a restaurant run by clowns? Did I say that out loud?
And Mickey Mouse organization is running this place.
Mm-hmm.
But going back to Gilligan's, there was a restaurant called Gilligan's back home, and they had actually a boat up where you could boat up and they would bring your food to you. It was a steakhouse type of thing, but it was right on one of the lakes.
Nice.
So if you were out pontooning with your friends to grilling out, you just call up and order your food. and go.
We
pick
call
it up.
we call that Dockside Cafe here in town.
Okay.
Up
so
at Harrison Bay. They have dockside service.
Mm.
yeah, basically that's what it was dockside. So like that's cool. Hi, Carrie.
There's a lot of people on the canal boat videos. They navigate up the canals from pub to pub and pull over more, go have lunch, a couple of beers, go back on the boat and go on down the canal. If you're on a canal boat, there is no DUI unless you hit somebody else's boat.
Ooh, nice.
Because
There's no police to pull you over on the water.
Mm.
Of course, you're only moving at 4 miles an hour, so it's going to be hard to make a getaway.
Yeah, that's what's left of the Hungry Fisherman.
That's where the Hungry Fisherman was. That's their parking lot, and you can see where the building used to be. And then that was the lake that it was on. And there's Chickamauga Creek. So that was
cool.
Yeah, so,
okay, so
but as you can see, they've sold everything for housing. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
little houses on the hillside.
we had made a trip when I was a younger man with the family. We went to Maine, Kennebunkport, Maine, which is a great place to go. And we saw, George Bush's house and everything up there. But there was this restaurant right on the lake, and you could look out and you could see the ducks out there. I mean, you were almost even with the water. Made the best seafood ever, best biscuits ever. We tried to imitate those biscuits because they were cooked in butter and brown sugar along the bottom of the pan. So you'd be eating this biscuit, and it would be biscuity, but it would also be sweet at the same time. Never could quite get the recipe. So I talked this up to Donna, and so she's like, "Well, we need to go out to Kennebunkport ourselves sometime." I'm like, "Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll go to Maine. We'll go to this restaurant I know of." We could not find it anywhere. Finally stopped, asked somebody. They said, "Yeah, it burned down last year." Like,
Really good reason not to find it.
all those years I've been wanting to go back to that restaurant, and it burned down the year before we go back. I'm like, really? Great.
I'm just reading Michaela's stupid things we need to know. Did you know humans can't walk in a straight line without looking at something?
Yeah. They
And did
proved
you also
that
laugh out loud when you tickled them?
they proved that on Mythbusters. They went out blindfolded, thinking that they could walk in a straight line, and you can't. You have a tendency to go. I don't know if
towards your dominant hand.
Yeah. You just seem to veer off in a thing. So that's why they always teach you in orienteering and military. They teach you to set a bearing and keep your eye on the bearing and keep going that way, because that way you're going in a straight line, not just wandering off to the circles.
And Skunk says it's both Logan's and Texas Roadhouse that has the peanut shells on the floor.
So everybody was right. Cool.
Yeah.
I think it might be based on whoever's the manager at each place too, of how much shit they want to clean up or not clean up too.
Yeah.
If the chain says do it, you need to do it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there is a health code thing about how often they have to sweep all that crap up. So
Five Guys has signs. Absolutely do not take peanuts out of the store. People are filling up their bags.
Somebody did. They took their burgers out, ate. Well, they went and filled up the bag and left. I'm like,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do not
now,
take peanuts.
We know what
out
happens when I go to Five Guys, but we're not going to go there.
We used to sit out. Was it Logan's? You had to wait on your table, and they would let you take peanuts out on the rocking chairs out on the porch.
Yeah, sure.
And you get your beer and your thing and sit out there. And they occasionally, if they weren't playing music like jukebox music on the speakers out there, they'd have like the football game going.
Oh, okay.
So you can like sit out there and listen to football game.
As for rats laughing when you tickle them, Joe?
This is true.
It's true. The only thing is they laugh at a frequency of sound that the human ear cannot hear.
Mm-hmm.
Have you tried that to see what happens with Hobo? If he can hear it?
We haven't with these rats because they're still a little skittish. Like they'll take food from my wife. They'll let her pet them for a few seconds and then kind of scurry off.
I've got one
Have
cat.
Have you seen what the new in rodent is to have now? Prairie dogs.
Oh no! In your house?
In your house.
Oh jeez.
But they recommend you only have one.
Which means some idiot's going to have a dozen and then say, look what happened.
Oh yeah.
There's one on YouTube called Poppy. And they go, hey, Poppy. Ow!
Okay. I don't know why you'd want to have something like that in your house. I mean, we strive to not have too many rodents in this house. That's why we have cats.
Yeah.
But well, a prairie dog is a rodent, but they're actually very tame, and they tame very easily.
Oh,
I want a ferret so bad. Ted's like,
No, you don't.
No,
That
you
thing
don't.
stink.
No, you don't.
it's like having a kitten again. They're
Hey,
crazy.
imagine for 5-6 years you've got a kitten wound up on catnip.
Mm-hmm.
And ferrets only have 2 speeds.
Sleep and go.
Yeah.
I know. I know. I'll never have one. I mean, I will always have my kitty cats.
I have seen a ferret in full run just fold the front legs up and roll, and it's sound asleep.
Yeah. Ran out right there.
That switch got flipped in a hurry.
That's their switch.
There's a lady in Canada who's building her own house, and out in the woodshed where she keeps enough split wood for an entire winter, and she heats the house with a wood burning stove. There's a really, really cute white ermine. It just came right up out of the woods and moved into her woodshed, and she'll go out there and feed it, the center bone out of a pork chop or whatever. Should just lay it down and film it while it comes up and tries to drag this chunk of meat that's bigger than it is through the cracks in a wood pile.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, have you heard California is trying to ban wood burning stoves?
Is this a fire hazard thing or what?
No, it's just California.
Okay.
They're claiming it's pollution.
Oh, geez. Okay.
But they can't tax firewood.
Yeah, that's the deal.
I'm like, there's got to be a hook or a catch in there.
Don't give Illinois any ideas, because that'll be the next thing we'll do too.
Well, but think about it. Neighbor cuts down a tree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You go over, chop it up.
Mm-hmm.
You're set for 2 months of untaxed heat.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a problem for the state, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because they're not going to get their cut of the pie.
Mm-hmm.
2 months out of one tree. That's got to be a big tree, Joto.
Well, you know what I mean.
Depends on the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem with they have with people that try to collect rainwater to drink and to wash in, because they can't tax that either. And
Colorado has simply said water belongs to the state.
Yeah, even the stuff that falls from the heavens is.
It belongs. You cannot catch water in Colorado.
They want their dollars.
Well, you know what you tell the government. I'll tell you what, send a truck out here and get your rain out of my barrels.
There you go.
Okay, because you keep leaving your rain in my barrels, you jackasses.
Yeah.
Well, that's like the farmer that got
and then charge him rent for the rain.
The farmer who got cited for the beaver dams on his property.
Oh, really?
Yeah, an unauthorized dam on unauthorized, unlicensed dam on the property. So he basically says, okay, well, come out here. These are creatures of God. God built this dam and it works. How often do you ever hear of a beaver dam failing?
True.
Like what Nick said, water belongs to the state and the state belongs to the corporations.
Exactly.
And this is why the French Revolution was such a nice thing to have as an example in history.
Well, the French is already, there's about to be another revolution over there again. They just passed a new law. If you talk bad about vaccinations, $50,000 fine and 3 years in prison.
Holy moly.
Yeah, that one won't last long, even in France.
Hey, the French people are going, you know, the day they slipped it into some legislation.
Yeah, that's how it always happens.
And then once it came out, 500,000 people showed up protesting, saying, arrest us.
The Bastille won't hold that many.
So they don't have true freedom of speech then?
No.
Yeah, that's...
Well, if you think about it, our first rule in the Constitution is freedom of speech. The second one is get a gun.
I thought that was 4.
No, 2.
Nope. That's
Second Amendment.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
Yeah,
confused.
well, actually, the way the story goes, owning a weapon in the United States is so important. It's the second thing they talk about in the Constitution.
Talking about it is the first thing.
Talking about freedom is the first thing.
Yeah.
But get a gun.
Just in case somebody breaks number 1.
The President of the United States told me, to talk softly, but carry a big stick.
And don't be afraid to use it.
No, that was not Teddy, that was Bugs.
What, use it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, our current president says get a shotgun. Nothing scares anybody more than the racking of a 12 gauge.
Maybe they ought to start off each session of Congress with that.
Of course, he also had to back down from that comment. You remember when that was said, don't you, Carl? It was like, oh, I didn't mean it like that. I'm going, bullshit. You said it, asshole.
Well, those kind of things actually, help make sure that things run a little more smoothly around here because, those kind of things are integral to keeping all your freedoms.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think, people need assault weapons or anything like that, but they do need to keep freedom in their heads because otherwise
there's a reason they call them varmint guns. And the varmint
come in all shapes and sizes and number of legs.
Quick question, Joe. Are you going to send those QR codes to me tonight via email?
Either email or messenger, one of the two.
Okay.
Defenestration, yeah.
Thought about it. I know you're eating, and I apologize.
And the next thing, did you go tickle the rats?
No.
Swallow, Joe, swallow. Isn't
I
that what
almost
you
made
always
him-
say? In this house, we swallow.
Not the green room. Not the green.
Amen.
We're talking about whatever he's eating, Carl. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
I just was nipping it in
I'm,
the bud.
I'm sure you don't.
It's not the last man standing either, so.
Oh my God.
You okay, John?
Just I will be in a moment. I am going to post this on Stupid O'Clock because this was like the funniest thing I've seen all week. Joe, you'll recognize this guy. Let's see here.
All right, let me get there.
All right, posted. And success.
Look at that later. Night,
Good
Michaela.
night, Michaela.
Good night, Michaela.
I hope everything's going good with the new job.
All right, let me get over there. I had to turn into Stupid O'Clock. Hold on a minute.
As I said about work in one of my posts, 1 star, would not recommend.
I've seen that one before.
Come through on my side.
Have you seen it before? I thought I made it up. Darn.
No, the one that John just posted. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I highly recommend.
I'll have to look at that later. I got too many.
It's just
too many tabs open now.
Yeah, really. I had to close out the graphics program I was working with earlier today to make sure that I don't
1896,
freeze
huh?
up.
It makes it
5
funnier
miles.
when you watch it. Okay, I gotta turn that off.
Okay.
Otherwise, we'll be laughing the whole next
Okay,
hour.
evidently I'm looking at the wrong thing. I'm seeing
Well,
about the
it makes
speeding
you want to go
ticket.
do your laundry.
You gotta switch to newest post.
Huh. Does that still work?
One of the few things that still works when you're on a actual page.
Hmm.
Oh,
When you're in
okay.
your
On
feed, if you're in your personal feed, no, it doesn't.
Yeah, nothing works.
Unless you're on mobile, and then you can go to more, go to feeds, and set it to just friends. But you have to remember to go back to that every time you go onto the mobile app.
You're setting your feed to only friends. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Does Timu still count as a friend?
Yeah, you still get the ads about
Okay.
every third post.
I think the I can't find it. Shit! Come on now.
I've started clicking on stuff on Timu or some of those other ads that are less offensive to me, so that I keep getting more of those types of ads. So I'll be like, oh, look, there's something that organizes stuff in the backseat of your car. I'll click on that. Yeah, show me more of that stuff. Don't show me some of this stuff you see.
It's not showing. Come on now.
Hold on, Joe Dog.
Nuckwad.
Go to the link I just posted in the private chat, Joe Dog.
Okay, all right. Let me get over here to where that is.
I'll open that.
That would have been the perfect time for me to rickroll him too. Damn it! I just thought
it
about
would.
that. Son of a.
That's all right. He likes that.
Yeah, he does.
It wouldn't annoy him.
I like that too much. Oh my. Oh. Holy
Yeah,
crap.
Nick, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, it's in my head completely. I love it.
Definition of assault weapon has changed dramatically in the time that they've been an adult and don't terribly match the statistics. No.
Oh, this is true.
And then you have to remember the cases of the fellow that had the bumper jack strapped to the hood of his Jeep, and A.
Lady
Karen
Bumper
called the cops on him because he had an assault weapon mounted on his car.
Yeah.
If it had been spray painted orange, she wouldn't have thought it was an evil death machine.
You know, I've been thinking about with my rifles is actually getting a can of orange spray paint, just spray painting the tip of the muzzle orange. So,
Oh no.
like, leave me the hell alone. You know.
Yeah.
Isn't
Put
that
one- put one of those
isn't that
orange
an ATF
earplugs.
violation?
Yeah, that's like not being blind and walking around with a white cane. Somebody's
It's
going to
only a
notice.
violation when you get caught.
And I don't think it's actually an enforceable thing because they've never made a law, saying you can't do that. And there are these companies that make custom pistols, and the ones I like, they take target Glock pistols, the ones that have been customized for target shooting, and they paint them up to look like the Nintendo zappers.
Oh.
And they'll put the Nintendo logos on the side of them. And it's. Hang on a second. Let me post a picture here.
You said the target, the competition target weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Girl I used to date. You know how the guy shows up at the girl's house, dad sits him down on the couch because she's never ready.
Okay.
He has all these trophies and things hanging on the wall. Blue ribbon competition shooter, blue ribbon competition shooter, blue ribbon competition shooter, sniper qualification, sniper qualification, sniper qualification.
I was on the rifle team with her, Joe.
Then, that was his. And then all of a sudden he goes, that son of a bitch, opens up, grabs his shotgun, goes out, boom! He said, that son of a bitch ain't digging my garden up no more. I'm going, okay. He goes, now I do expect my daughter home by 11 o'clock. Yes, sir. At 10:59, I was headed down the street with her in the house.
Yeah.
Why do you keep looking at your watch? My wife may depend upon it.
Okay. And part two. However, only he should be allowed to have ammunition. He doesn't trust the rest of us goobers.
See,
what I can do with a string? No, I'm kidding.
Hey, they don't need to ban the weapons, ban the ammunition.
It's almost expensive enough to be self-banning.
Yeah. My brother was complaining about that too. He,
it's
taxes.
They taxed it so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was a police officer, and now he can't even afford his retirement to reload his own.
If they ban ammunition, it'll wind up being the same thing as heroin and marijuana and cocaine, all these other things that they ban. I mean, hell, you're supposed to go through the immigration system to get into this country. They literally have an army to protect our borders. And guess what?
Yeah.
Well,
most of them come through the airports.
Well, if you remember, back in the 50s and early 60s, they had the ban on poverty.
And that worked really well, didn't it?
And then they had the, the ban on drugs?
War on drugs, actually.
War on drugs, whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
God help us if they ever.
No.
God help us if they ever have a war on ban on stupidity.
Ooh, everybody be in trouble.
See, but here's the thing: Congress will never pass a law against themselves.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Oh, they make sure that they never have to pass a law that actually applies to them in the first place.
But they don't think they're stupid. That's the problem. That's why they might actually do it.
Yeah.
They think they're smarter than everybody else.
Hello, whoever.
There's an idea for you.
I got to call a timeout. We have a viewer on X. Thank you. If you want to, leave us a comment. Let us know who you are. You are actually our first viewer from the X platform. So we want to welcome you. Okay, take whatever we're talking to.
So we're X-rated now?
And now they left, probably.
You called attention to them. They left.
Oh, they're still there.
Okay.
Thinking, what the heck did I step into?
I heard it on the X.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just hope they leave us a comment so we know who they are. And just say, hey, it's just me or whatever. Just let us know who you are.
If it's our usual luck, it's a Malaysian spam bot.
Can we say Malaysian? Okay.
Stupid O'Clock has an X video now.
Yeah.
Oh.
What I really miss is our Russian hackers and spam.
They got drafted. They may not be with us anymore.
They got drafted. They may be not. They may be on the next plane of existence now.
Mm-hmm.
Joey, didn't you get one the other night right towards the end of the show?
2?
Yeah.
We've got 2 from X now.
Elon and his wife.
Well, now wait a minute. 2x equals what? I'm not real good with algebra. That's
Well, you've got to have the rest of the equation in order to solve for X.
Thank you.
I ain't looking for anybody's X. I've had enough trouble with the one I had.
Yeah.
I plead the 5th.
Well, I hate to say this, but I'm proud to say it, but sort of hate to say it, but I don't have an ex-wife.
Well, neither do I.
No. Someday you'll have a widow because she's going to take you out with one of those hits one of those days.
Yeah. She says, I don't hit you that hard. Oh. If that ain't hard, I'd hate to feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
John.
What?
If you've been abused by a spouse, call Zimmerly Dow right now. We at Lawyers on Call.
Oh, yeah, Kiri, I do miss the cult of
will
Chris.
fight for you.
Yeah, exactly.
The cult of Chris.
No soup for you.
There's only one cult of Chris.
Well, you could be a branch.
Now, wait a minute, Don. Technically, Jesus Christ is actually Chris, depending on how it's spelled. Okay, so depends on your definition of religion.
Take away my fun.
You could have schisms within the cult of Chris.
Strangely enough, because most people were illiterate back in his day, they used to sign his name as an X.
Mm-hmm.
So boy, talk about what's.
Well, in Greek it wasn't X or Cairo. Learned that in the art class in college for some reason. I don't. Why I remember.
See, this is a very educational program. We've learned that you can tickle rats.
Can't walk in
Cairo.
Can't walk in a straight line.
And we have no clue where this show's going or where it's going to end up, but we promise you it will be an entertaining trip along the way.
There you go.
So what page are you broadcasting to on X, Joe Dog?
Joe Dog 158.
Oh, okay. Oh, I sold another book tonight.
All right.
Congratulations.
Yeah, my cousin wanted one, so she says, "Have your brother pay for it." I said, "Okay." So I'm going to charge my brother for it.
The paperback showed up today.
Oh, good, cool.
Lindsay read the dedication and the chapter with her dad in it.
Mm-hmm.
She came back here to tell me to tell you how much she enjoyed it. She was wiping tears from her eyes.
Aww.
Well, I think I'd said it at another time. Maybe it was in the green room. You hear a story about a particular veteran or something, and you think, that guy needs to be applauded in some way. And so I was writing the story, and I thought that his story would fit in with this. So,
just for the record, when I die, the only people I want crying for me are the brewers at Sam Adams. Okay, the rest of y'all go have a party.
I'm going to bring a bucket of ice.
It won't do you any good at that point.
I'll already be on ice. Yeah, it's kind of pointless.
Well, thank you, Joe. See, so comments do work. So we know if you're watching, all you got to do is just go and say, you're a dumbass. I mean, anything.
That's easy.
Now then we'd know it was somebody that Joe Dog actually knows.
I clicked on the Twitter page.
Oh, ow.
Damn.
I clicked on the Twitter page.
And I just came up to Joe Dog with the...
Joe Dog has some news. Joe Dog has some news for you, Dan.
Yeah.
I clicked on the Twitter page, and it says...
I'm going to have to do public speaking again, yeah.
No, this would be a good time, Joe, to tell him.
Good night, Skunk. It was good seeing
What
you.
am I going to tell him? Oh,
About
that he got fired from the job?
About Saturday.
Oh, I was going to wait till the end of the show.
Oh, okay.
This coming Saturday or last
Yeah,
Saturday?
this coming Saturday. I'm not going to be here.
Well, I figured that.
Where are you going to be, if you don't mind my asking?
Atlanta. Going down for the day, probably. I got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go down to Atlanta. There ain't no way in hell I can stay up past 11.
Oh, yeah.
I'll turn into a pumpkin.
Mm.
And whoever came up with this idea of getting old shit needs their ass kicked.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Well, it's not so much getting old, it's the tripping over shit and falling down that really gets to me.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Shit, I did that in my 30s.
It's that damn argument you have with yourself every time you wake up and go, oh, I need to go pee. But I don't want to get out of bed. So can I hold it? I need to go pee. Oh, my bladder hurts. I'm going to be doing this for the next hour if I don't get up and go pee. So,
Yeah.
Wander, trip.
I mean, I'm to the point now, if I drop something on the floor, I actually look at it and consider, can I live without that the rest of my life?
We've seen behind your chair at times.
Yeah.
Joe, you need to get you one of the little grabby, one of those that Carl's got.
Yeah.
And like tape it to your
Does
cane.
Donna like that, Carl?
No.
Does Donna like that,
The
Carl?
reason I don't have one of those is the last 2 years of my life, in excruciating last 2 years of my work life, in excruciating back pain, just to punish me for being hurt, they made me walk around the landfill and pick up paper.
Oh, that's just mean.
Yeah, I see one of those and it's like,
Forgiveness, understanding, compassionate, kindness, it.
No, I like these because, I'll get a cat that wants to play with a toy and I put it over there just out of my reach or where I
or under the dresser.
Yeah, exactly. And this thing I can push it out of there, or like you say, you drop something and you go. I told Donna one time because she was paying $30 for a chiropractic visit, which is pretty good actually. But I said, if you drop anything and it's less than $30, don't pick it up. because it's going to cost me $30 to fix your back after you pick the dollar up you drop.
You know these World War II movies where you see they're assaulting the bunker, the gun bunker, and the machine guns in it, firing out at the guy, and he has to run up beside it, pull out a hand grenade, flip the spoon, and then toss it into the hole in the bunker.
Mm-hmm.
Those things that you've got there, Carl, come in real handy for getting that grenade in the bunker without exposing yourself to the machine gun. Just
yeah, that's a good point.
They're like, they're a robot just threw a grenade at me. Oh my god!
It's a good idea.
They just need to build a slightly bigger one.
Yeah.
And attach
This
it
is
to a
interesting. Hi, Facebook user. Thanks for letting us know you're here.
How the hell did that happen?
I don't know. They commented, but
Maybe we put a space in there or something.
Is like
Because
Zuckerberg mad at us?
Yeah, I don't think you can post without putting something in there. So
Yeah.
they found a found a workaround.
see,
Oops. They did.
could be Thesis's dog.
You said it wrong. It's
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying hi back to you, but we still don't know who you are because it just says Facebook user.
Oh,
Robin Reed.
Oh, hey, Robin.
Hi, Robin.
I'm going to have to send you a picture of little Bobby. She ain't so little anymore.
Mm.
She's
This
not
is
so
the person. This is the person we got Bobby Cat from.
Aww.
Okay.
He's so cute.
Got to go down the hall.
All right.
I just saw something that made me feel really old today.
Hmm.
Okay. I think everyone here is familiar with the comedian ventriloquist Jeff Dunham.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He posted a picture on his Facebook page of his two boys getting ready to go to school. Okay. I believe they're in first grade now.
Yeah.
And I can distinctly remember when they were running around his house like, 2-year-olds.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's like, boom, they're kids,
Well, you heard about how Jeff got pink eye, didn't you?
Mm.
One of the twins thinks it's funny to poke the dog in the butthole.
Oh,
Did they learn that from you, Joe Dog?
No. And then they kept yelling at him, Jack, quit poking the dog in the butthole. So finally, Jeff gets pink eye real bad, and he goes to the doctor, and the doctor asks all this, and he goes, "Have you been cleaning up dog poop and not washing your hands?" No. And then he could hear Peanut come out and go, "Yes, you do."
children, they're so much fun.
My favorite Peanut joke is about he told Jeff he needed to go to a strip bar, and says, "You don't understand. You could make it talk."
Oh, I don't know if I want to see that.
I'd pay money to see that. Okay, just
One of my favorite Peanut
$1 at a time. Okay.
is he's doing something or whatever, and he's flipping Peanut around, and Peanut slips off his hand and goes flying across the room.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell was that?
Oh, God.
And he goes, "Hey, is Huck."
Oh, God. Oh.
We have one of Jeff Dunham's Christmas shows on a DVD. We can't get through the whole thing because Donna starts. She can't breathe. and I have to stop the DVD and we go, okay, we'll watch that the rest of it another day because I don't think we've ever finished the thing. We've had it for years.
I love his just out of quarantine video to where Peanut asked him, he goes, "What's the password to the bus?" I don't know.
He changed all the passwords. He goes, okay,
Yeah.
what's the password on the bus? I don't know.
I don't know. Well, what's the password backstage? I forgot.
What's the password for the Wi-Fi HallowCon?
I don't know. Ask Joe.
Now, one of the videos that I comedy video that I had that I could not sit through the whole thing just was Sam Kinison.
Oh yeah.
And of course, this was back when I was active duty military, so we would sit around and watch, and it was just the whole crowd watching the video was just.
Local guy.
I so wish Sam and George were still here. Oh my God. You talk about superstars in the comedy world.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I know exactly what George Carlin would come out and say. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to do any jokes tonight. I'm just going to read the news.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Donna. I hope your nappy was good.
Oh my God. The head came off.
Zachy isn't even here.
I know. That microphone made in Canada for some reason?
Oh, you saw where the who was it that posted about the girl that had the big boobs and she's talking about
10 gallons of
yeah,
like carrying 2 10-gallon jugs. Yeah.
No, she says it's like carrying two
milk cartons,
2 milk jugs, which is like 10 pounds. I'm going, are those Canadian gallons?
Yeah.
I think we're kind of ruined now. So
yeah, that gal was an H.
Yeah.
H size. I'm like, holy moly. No.
No. She goes, they're an H now.
They're an H now.
I don't think they're still growing. I think they're being augmented.
Oh. That's a little much. Your back cannot handle that much.
What was that girl? Darn it, played Punky Brewster.
Soleil Moon.
That's
Fry. Yeah.
And somebody, I remember there was a big controversy because she had a large chest and had breast reduction surgery done.
Mm-hmm.
At 17.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I know somebody who had that done.
Yeah, at 17, she was as big as the girl that, was doing the reaction.
Whoa.
There was a girl that I knew that she was 17 at the time. She was 4'10" and she was a 32 triple D.
Holy cow.
And she had a reduction when she was still in high school, and the boys were mean to her. Those high school boys were mean.
Before or after?
After. How could you do that? How could you take that away from guys? And I mean,
man, like you were had a chance, buddy.
What she should have done was got a bunch of her doctor's business cards, and every time a boy wanted to have bigger boobs, go get your own.
But high school boys can be
saved some just for you.
Yeah.
And they're all hormones. They're walking hormones. So I mean, it's like,
I've saved some of the tissue for you here. You can just take that home with you. Well, they always offer you, like, here, do you want your kidney stones or do you want your gallstones? And like, no, thank you. but something like that you could actually sell. Probably.
You know,
I saved my first kidney stone.
when
Looked
I
like a damn pineapple.
Yeah, get it out of here. I don't want to see you.
my brother had to get his tonsils taken out,
Mm-hmm.
and for some reason, I guess they had a 2-for-1 sale. My mother decided to get my tonsils taken out at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's one of those
One
things.
will take care of both of you at the same time.
If one kid gets it, the other kids.
Yeah.
And so we had to go to the hospital for that. And I asked the doctor, "Can I get my?" Because I had seen something on TV about tonsils in a jar. And says, "Oh no, we burn those."
Mm.
And that was back in the early 70s, like
Wow.
so 70, I think.
That's interesting. I don't know why they would do that.
Depends on the hospital.
Yeah.
That way you're not getting the pathogens and all that shit. It's gone.
Well,
Yeah.
think about it. They're removing it because it's inflamed from a virus. So
Yeah.
it's a biohazard,
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
But you think putting in a jar of formaldehyde to take care of that damn virus? But
Yeah.
of course,
A
I
friend of
imagine.
mine had a copperhead that he killed out on his grandma's farm. Of course, it wasn't in formaldehyde; it was in Everclear.
Same difference.
Same difference.
Kill everything in there. Yeah.
Damn thing filled up a quarter, or the big
Pickle jar.
The big pickle jar. Yeah.
Mm.
The big gallon pickle jar.
Okay.
I mean, it was rolled up in there. Then they just filled it up with alcohol.
With Joe's luck, he'd put that copperhead in there, pour the Everclear in there, and the snake get drunk, pissed off, come out there and bite the hell out of him just for that.
That's all you need is a drunken ghost snake.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nobody write that book. Do not write that book.
Drunken ghost snake? I think I know an author who specializes in that sort of fiction.
No,
Nick, are
Sherry
you still
Priest
watching?
moved out. No, Sherry Priest is in Colorado now. Damn it.
I thought she was in Seattle.
No, Colorado.
Okay, she used to be in Seattle.
Yeah, she did for a while, but she's in Colorado now.
Carl?
Okay.
And then she's working her way back home. So once she gets back home, guess where she's going to be a guest?
Yeah. I haven't seen her in years.
Carl, if you ever write a book of short stories, Drunken Ghost Snake.
Drunken ghost snake.
Drunken Ghost Snake.
That's more up at Nick's alley, wouldn't you think, Carl?
Probably. Yeah, that'll be in the third installment of Haints and Hellfire.
I don't know. He's still working on the second one.
Well, yeah,
I
but
might put it in there somewhere.
he's getting more material.
Haints and Hellfire 2.
Carl?
Eclectic Bugaboo.
Carl, I've got the perfect one.
Hmm.
It is the holy trifecta of horror monster.
Okay.
Zombie midget clown.
Oh, jeez. It fits in the sewer much easier.
Yeah.
Beep, Richie.
Beep, beep, Richie.
I'm trying to think of something that
I actually got Joe Bachman to look around like, you're a sick fuck.
And this is news to anybody, Hal?
wait a minute. Japanese zombie midget clowns with tentacles.
At least he said tentacles.
Tentacles. I did say tentacles.
Mm-hmm.
Like an octopus, not like hairy walnuts. Anyway.
There's a king for everything, so.
Yeah.
Just made me think of it because the chick that was in Better Off Dead, it was her birthday, so it came up on Facebook everywhere, and then she makes that line about
He put his slippery testicles all over me. Like
Hey,
the
girl.
octopus.
Did you say tentacles that time, or? Okay. Good. Just checking.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, hey, Don, great movie, by the way, with John Cusack in it. But the girl, whose name I can't remember right offhand, that played the French girl in that movie,
that's whose birthday just was,
played the daughter in Amityville Horror 2. If you remember that movie. Because Amityville Horror was pretty freaky, but Amityville Horror 2 was even more freaky. So,
Wow.
Well, if you've ever seen the movie,
Cliff too soon.
If you've ever seen the movie, you know why. So.
You were talking about.
I've never seen either one of those, and not from. I just haven't seen them. It's not like I don't want to or whatever. It's just
yeah. Technically, Amityville 2 was the prequel to Amityville 1 because they explain why the first family died in the house, and it's all the freaky stuff went on with the second family that was the family in Amityville 1.
I've already shown
Joe. Don't show them. Wait until you get it and have your fashion model show it off to them.
Okay, yeah, all right, I'll do that.
Okay. You were talking about there's a kink for everybody. I was researching the E.B. Cooper story I'm writing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I had to figure out. They were talking about how the stewardess had fastened herself into the jump seat that stewardesses had to sit in. And I'm like, okay, or for flight attendant, I should say, not stewardess. But in those
days,
they were stewardess. So I said, well, okay, I don't know how that works. So I watched a video on how this girl was fastening herself into this seat. I'm like, okay, now it makes a little more sense. I can write that into my story. All of a sudden now, YouTube is offering me all kinds of videos of stewardesses fastening themselves into jump seats. And I'm like, is this like a kink I don't know about? People watch it all the time or something. I was like, people are weird.
Yeah.
Have you met any of us, Carl?
Oh, I know.
Now, what type of
plane was the choir here?
Was that was a DC-10 he jumped out of, right? Do you remember?
It was a 727.
No.
Yeah, 727. Yeah. Because they were the only one that had that staircase.
No, there were 3 planes that had that staircase. The L-1011,
okay,
the DC-10, I think it was.
It was a Boeing 727.
Okay, and the 727.
Yeah, I've been doing some research on it, so
yeah.
The L-1011 and the DC, I think it was DC-10 if I remember correctly, had the 3 engines in the back, one up top, and they had the tail stairwells. So.
Well, the thing was, I guess DB Cooper actually demanded that they take off with that down, and they said no, they can't do it. And he said, yes, you can. And actually, in a 727, you can take off with that stairway down. How that guy knew that is part of the mystery.
Part of the mystery, yeah.
They think. Well, there's one of 2 ways they know this, or that he could have known this. One, there were special operations units working with the CIA that used to use those planes for infiltration.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because it's a commercial plane, commercial transponder. It can fly over this area. They just drop the ramp. The parachuters jump out. Plane keeps going. They don't show up on radar or nothing because they're supposed to be there.
Yeah.
That's theory 1, is that he was one of these people that specialized in jumping out of those airplanes. So he was probably special forces or CIA.
Yeah.
2, and this is the more plausible one, actually. He worked in the aviation industry and knew that you could do this from whatever they did. And to back this theory up, when he was on board, he took his tie off, back his seat, and after he left, he put his tie back on, or didn't want it on when he was jumping out of the plane off parachute, and left his tie on the plane. Well, they analyzed it real close, and they found metal filings in the tie that were from the aviation. It was the type of alloys they use in specialized aviation applications. You don't get those. Yeah, you don't get those in just anywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
So they think he may have worked with a company that built aircraft parts or worked on aircraft or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they suspect it is a Richard Floyd McCoy Jr.
He was one of the suspects. Yeah, they kept ruling him out, but he McCoy also hijacked a plane afterwards and was caught. Escaped from prison and was shot in a shootout. But could have been. I'm going to take another twist on it, though, that a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
once you get into fiction,
using that wouldn't help the story any.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it was Alice Cooper.
No.
Okay. Think about it. He lived in the area. Okay. At one time. Okay. Sort of fits the description. Okay. Changed his name from his real name to Alice Cooper. Call it a stage name or something like that. And then went into rock and roll.
There you go.
I like the theory that it was Loki.
That is a good one.
That it was Loki losing a bet to Thor.
I still like the Alice Cooper one better, but the Loki one's pretty good.
I say it was part of Federation secret ops, and they ran out of money. When he bailed out, he was transported.
D.B. Cooper had pointy ears. No, ma'am, we don't get it. Humans don't have pointy ears. I know. Boy, there's a Star Trek story for you right there.
There you go.
Joe Bachman, are you still watching on X or?
No, I closed that out a while ago.
Okay, well, they're still here. We either got an X bot or
you got a new fan. Good.
A new fan.
Because anybody that can watch more than half an hour of the show probably likes it. So,
think about all the fascinating things we talked about tonight.
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
I saw this thing. I don't know if it was staged or what, but it was in an aisle at the grocery store. It was all the different brands of aluminum foil, and somebody put an advertisement up front that said "free hat inside."
Okay. It comes in handy sometimes with some of the things that you hear on the
Let's do it yourself.
Yeah.
You keep
some
telling
assembly
those,
required.
You keep telling those, John, I'm going to need your address to send a bill for a new keyboard.
Now your name came up, Robin.
Yeah.
She clicked a little clicky click. Yeah.
Hey, John, some assembly required, but one size fits all.
There you go. Oh, did you see? I posted one time on Facebook. It was in our secret humor group about people that sold tinfoil hats for cats and dogs. They even had cutouts for the ears so that they could wear the hat comfortably. And I thought, okay, you don't want those CIA brainwaves affecting, your cat or dog, of course.
Oh,
they're the ones they're the ones that are in charge of everything. They're the ones that are conspiring for all this to happen.
Probably.
My favorite one that I saw. If you ever saw the movie Signs, the M. Night Shyamalan movie with Mel Gibson and
Ramalama Ding Dong.
The kids were all wearing the tinfoil hat, but they had it twisted on top where it looked like a little alfalfa antenna on top of it.
Yeah.
Right after that movie came out, somebody at a convention had one of those, but he had the little Hershey's Kisses flag coming out.
Nice.
There's a guy on YouTube that does his show at the same time we start ours every Thursday, It's the Why Files.
Oh, that's what I was thinking. I was gonna ask,
yeah. He's
that's a little
actually got what?
fish.
He's got the little tinfoil hat that fits on the fishbowl.
Okay.
Oh, I love that. Except sometimes they go really off the deep end.
Hey, they go off the deep end and head out through the cornfield.
Right through the crop circle and just keep going.
Robin Williams come to
I've got to tell you, if you ever watch it, don't turn the video off before you hear the end theme, because that is a catchy little tune.
So that's why I can never find him live.
Yeah, he starts at 9:00 on Thursdays.
Okay, well,
Tell me,
And you wouldn't want to watch it live anyway. There's like 100,000 people in the comment section. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of Zach's videos when you watch live.
You can't read the comments because there's just so many people commenting.
Yeah, there's a couple of people who's I would when I watch them live, I just go ahead and hide the comments because I can't read that fast.
Well, and you don't want to read some of those comments.
People that moderate those
try to
things.
start doing that with Nick's show, with Nevermind the Furthermore.
Yeah, people that moderate those things will either A, have a big monitor, or they'll get the vertical monitor as opposed to the small monitors, and it lets them see more of that stuff down the side. I've always wondered about that. If all these places with the comment section off to the side, like StreamYard has right now, if they could have it where you could like minimize the screen that you see all the people on and bring up extra chat bars so that one of them spills over to the next and then to the next, and you have like 3 chat bars up so you can keep up with the chat.
Well, I don't remember how you could do it, but you could actually pop out the chat bar.
Yeah, you can on YouTube, I know, and some other programs will let you pop out the chat and move it to a different monitor if you need it.
Can you drop and drag comments? Do you know? Because that would be, it'd be neat if you had like a notepad or something like that, and you drop and drag them into it, or drag and drop.
There's another story idea.
I said hi, Chris.
I mean, it's like
hi, Chris.
I mean, it's like the WKRP turkey drop, but with dragons.
Yes, dropping dragons. Yeah.
As God is my witness, I thought dragons could fly.
Oh.
Not Komodo dragons, you idiot. They don't have one.
Levitation.
Oh man, that would be like dropping huge alligators. Jeez.
Oh, so another day in Florida.
Yeah.
I've often,
there's another thing, flying alligators or something.
I've often wondered if a hurricane in Florida could actually pick up like alligators and throw them across the state.
Gatornado.
Or Gator Cane.
Was it Hurricane Hugo that took out Miami?
I think so. I think you're right.
It also took out the main depot to where they imported the boas and the...
No. There was a herpetology center.
Oh.
And it was up near Flagler Beach, Florida. And they imported and bred pythons, boas, anacondas, all sorts of reptiles, bearded lizards,
flying around.
And it
got destroyed.
It tore the roof off the place and flooded it because it was a low lying area. And most of the reptiles can swim. So they all got loose from their enclosures and such, and they didn't really have them in cages. They had them in rooms around the building because snakes don't do well in cages. Well, most reptiles don't do well in cages. That's why they put them in aquariums. But when you're doing something big like that, they just had these big rooms. And once the roof came off the top of the place, if they didn't get started, if they didn't get crushed by flying debris, they just climbed out.
Yeah.
And now the Everglades, crocodiles in certain areas of the Everglades are in danger. The
Burmese
snakes
pythons.
The boas and pythons. Ooh.
are
Burmese
eating the alligators.
Oh,
Swamp
Emma.
People, the Troy from Swamp People, they had a series on, they were catching those animals.
Yeah. Burmese python is the second largest snake on the planet. And in weight wise, anyway.
And the white-tailed deers are non-existent down there.
Whoa.
Yeah, deer is one of their favorite food. They can get up to about 30 foot long. I think the biggest one ever recorded was a female Burmese python that was 31 feet. It was at the San Diego Zoo, and it showed they had 10 zoo workers holding this thing up.
Is the biggest one the anaconda?
Biggest one's the anaconda. And then there's kind of a competition for second biggest one. The Burmese is big and thick.
Mm-hmm.
The reticulated python is longer, but doesn't bulk as much, and they're meaner. Burmese pythons in captivity are teddy bears. They're good. It's a good snake to have, except they get big. They get as big as their environment will allow them.
That's why you keep them in a cigar box.
Well, an aquarium, on average, they'll get 8-10 feet and weigh, maybe 20 pounds at the most. Now, that one in San Diego, I think they feed it old antelopes and stuff like that. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So the deer and the antelope aren't playing anymore, are they?
No. The deer and the antelope play.
The only ones that have a chance are the emus and cassowaries.
Now that I just thought of something I'd like to see. I'd like to see an anaconda take on a bull moose.
My sister got bit by moose once.
I've seen that movie.
No, it's a really nasty bite.
I don't want to get close enough to a moose to get that.
Oh, did y'all hear Dolly talking about the bear up in Sevierville at the little convenience store? People would buy, Coca-Colas, and they'd sit there and drink the Coca-Colas, and some little asshole filled a Coke bottle full of gasoline, filled it up. Bear went crazy, running all around town, and just fell over.
Is this a joke, Joe?
If there's a punchline,
it's supposed to be a joke.
Yeah.
But Joe's telling it.
Yeah, it was a joke 40 years ago.
But as Dolly tells it, no, the bear didn't die. It just ran out of gas.
I almost welcome a Rickroll now.
Damn, I deleted it. Shit.
How about a horse running around with a rubber chicken? You still got that?
It's on here somewhere. Hold on a minute. Let me find it.
Yeah.
I'm looking for it. Where'd it go? Maybe I deleted
No,
that
Carrie,
one too.
the Rickroll is gone, Kiri. Sorry.
Well, here.
Gracious! I walked right through a spider web! It's still on you! What a cute baby!
It ain't mine.
Mine.
I thought they did find some crocodiles down there, Chris. Because
They had to
they
escape
escaped
from
from
a zoo, yeah. I was bound and determined not to correct him, Chris. Thank you for.
But
Bum.
well, shoot. alligator wrangling's a good business in Florida. Hey, it's $5,000 to get an alligator out of your swimming pool.
How much is the guarantee that it won't come back?
Depends on if you want a new pair of boots or not.
Yeah,
I've seen that movie too.
How much for the proper ammo and some patch for the swimming pool?
What if it's a cement swimming pool?
You know, if you fry it up in the right oil and butter, it's not too bad.
Oh, damn.
Gators are good. They are good eating.
Yeah, my cousin lives in Louisiana, and we had a family reunion, and he rolled up late for the family reunion as usual. He says, hollered at his brother. He says, is the fire going? He says, yeah. He said, put the oil on. He starts cutting it up and all that. He said, this is fresh alligator you'll ever eat in Tennessee. Everybody goes, how do you know that? And he said, because I shot the son of a bitch this morning in the backyard.
They had been finding alligators in the Tennessee River.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
And this is why I live where the air hurts my face.
Yeah, it keeps the gators and crocs away.
It keeps the gators in the toilet. Yeah.
Oh, John, since you're the gardener, have you noticed the seed packets now have expanded our climate zone?
Not, I haven't really noticed it. No, because different varieties of the same kind of seed, they always do that. Yeah, okay, give you an example. Apple trees like colder climates, so you don't see a lot of apple trees down south here.
Right.
I tell you, most of the apple trees are for northern climes. The only apple tree that is really good for Georgia, Granny Smith apples.
Oh yeah.
Why? Because they were developed in Australia. So it's an apple tree that'll try and kill you. Yes. Okay.
Eat too many of them green apples, you wish you was dead.
Yeah.
Dan going, you asshole. You had to say that while I was drinking.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, if you get them just before they start getting ripe, they're really good sliced up and fried for breakfast.
Yeah.
Okay.
They are also there's two things you have to worry about. We had all our trees cut down in our yard, so we're thinking about getting a couple apple trees, maybe a peach tree or two. And problem is most of these trees will not produce fruit by themselves.
Hey, keep a watch on the time. If I'm not back by closing time, end it out. I probably should be back for the closing ends. I gotta go. Yes, Dawn, I got a shit.
Well, thank you.
We don't like to see.
I was actually expecting
a prayer for Joe Dog's bathroom.
And he wastes 5 minutes
to the bathroom.
He wastes 5 minutes turning the camera and the microphone off. I mean,
I was
take the headset off and run.
When he leaned forward into the camera, I was really expecting him to go, never mind.
Oh!
Clean up.
Okay.
Clean up in aisle 5.
This show brought to you by Depends Undergarments.
Oh.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. It's some things are better left to your imagination, or just like, you can ignore them.
Some things are better left unimagined.
I've been to Joe's house before. We went over there to do some stuff for HallowCon's. And I went in to use his bathroom. He has a prison toilet in his bathroom.
Well, it's the only thing with
it's big stainless steel one because porcelain won't handle it. Okay.
No.
I can imagine.
The flames alone.
Oh yeah, porcelain does not do well with heat. I had a friend that he had some rental property or something, and he had bought a toilet, but it was the wrong size or something and wasn't going to work. So he brought it out. And he says, "We're going to have a barbecue tonight." So he loads briquettes in the thing and sets it on fire. And before he was able to put the thing on, he was going to cook over this thing. It was new. I mean, he's like, it's never been used. It's new, but I don't have any other use for it. We're going to use it as a, well, he's about ready to put the little grill on top. You hear this, and the thing just almost exploded. And briquettes are falling all over his driveway and everything. We're like trying to kick him back over there. Like, ah!
Yeah, they.
How did the woods get caught on fire, Mr. Johnson?
Yeah.
Well, the fire in my toilet came out, and
exactly.
What?
Yeah,
it was the toilet on fire. Well, that's where we put the briquettes to cook the food.
It was really the softest explosion I've ever heard. I mean, it was like glass breaking. All of a sudden,
and it was like a porcelain queef.
Yeah. It was weird. It was the weirdest thing.
Wait, there's a band name for you.
Could you guys imagine the amount of environmental damage Joe Dog could do with an actual outhouse?
Oh, gee.
Water would be undrinkable for miles.
So, Dan, what's your next book you're working on?
How about that Babylonian Tupperware? Okay.
Yeah.
Here I am, quiet for most of the show, and I, decided to start talking now.
Yeah.
Are you hanging out for last?
That's all right. It's worth it.
Yep.
Oh Lord.
What was that, Don?
Asked Joe if he was going to hang out for last man standing.
Yeah, because I'm nowhere near done with this piece.
Are you doing a piece? Does your wife know?
Don.
Hashtag.
Yeah, doing my sign for the con.
Turn it up the other way. Otherwise, I'm going to stand on my head to read it.
That could be interesting.
Yeah, because I would break something.
Nice. Great. Now it's upside down.
No, it isn't.
This finger's getting a lot of use tonight. Wow. That looks really good, Joey.
Thank you.
Is that way I don't have the QR codes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're excused.
When Last Man Standing comes on, I'll step out and let Donna have my spot.
Oh.
Well, you should both stay on here.
Really? How come y'all don't have like a sofa or something? Like twin recliners or something.
Didn't you used to broadcast on the same?
We did when we did the Drunken Rant. I started out solo and I invited Donna one night, and then after that, everybody's like, "When's Donna coming back? When's Donna coming?" So yeah, we used to side by side. Okay, maybe I'll stick around a little bit.
I might not be at that. No, just teasing. As far as I know, I'm going to be on Last Man Standing if everything connects like it's supposed to.
Connect?
Oh, I was talking earlier
I
for
have to
Joe.
move to the living room.
Joe went on his field trip.
Poor Fields.
Yeah. We were going to get apple trees, and most apple trees are not self-pollinating, so you have to have two of them to. Granny Smith apples are semi-pollinating. They will pollinate themselves, but you don't get as much or as large of a fruit from the tree. So you get small Granny Smith apples, and they don't taste as well. So if you're going to plant Granny Smith apples, you have to plant two of them. A lot of trees, though, you have to have two. They don't self-pollinate at all. And then I'm not sure about peach. I haven't looked at the peach. I would like to get peaches too. But
more educational stuff. The more you know.
Yeah, really.
The only problem with peaches, pits.
Oh, I suppose if they're falling off and they rot away, you all the pits in your ground then.
And then you roll them with the mower, or the dogs eat them or drag them into the house and choke
Or
them.
you step on one, you fall on your ass and break your neck. And
Oh,
I don't have to worry about that here. I have to worry about the deer pulling the branches off the trees, trying to eat all the peaches before they fall on the ground.
Now, do you know whether
the main
peaches are
thing
so
we have
common?
to worry about is if you want to keep the wasps and hornets from ruining the fruit before it gets ripe enough to actually do you any good, you've got to spray those suckers with a couple of applications of different chemicals. It's you've got to keep the wasps and hornets and whatnot away from the peaches.
I said
Stinging
that
bastard.
I had wasp and hornets eating my tomatoes.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know they do that.
I thought,
yeah.
I thought around here the worms get them before the wasps would.
Well, I put slug pellets down around tomato containers, so the slugs couldn't get up to them. And then I sprinkled sulfur just to keep some of the other pests off of them. But I didn't put the sulfur on the fruit, just like kind of put it on the leaves slightly, so, and in the soil. And sure enough, the wasps were coming in and poking holes in all my tomatoes.
Wow.
Slugs couldn't get them, so they called in the Air Force.
Yeah.
Can't get them with the ground salt, soften them up with the air.
You really.
Yeah, if they come up with a Navy, I'm really going to be.
Yeah.
That takes care of the tomato plant in the middle of the swimming pool, doesn't it, John?
Don't laugh. I thought it'd keep everything off my tomatoes.
I'm not even sure a greenhouse is going to work.
Semi-hydroponic. It's float around in your swimming pool. And, that would be. If you had a really big swimming pool, you could get like a little inflatable swimming pool and then put your buckets of soil in there and let it float around in your pool.
And then that's when the Navy will come and we don't need that no.
That's when they called in the beavers and the otters.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Hey, it's 3 minutes till, so we need to wrap this up. Say our goodbyes and see you later. And don't forget Dan's show over on his channel.
Thank you, Robin and Chris and Kiri
Goodbye,
and X-Person. And who else was with us today in chat? Donna.
Whoever was watching on X has
Michaela
been
was there for a while. Yep.
A moose bit my sister once.
I think Adam was in there for a while.
Yes, and
Yeah.
for a second.
All right.
Skunk.
Say good night, everybody.
Night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
I have slipped the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God.